Oh, hey dear. I'm sure you're noticing that it's pretty bright out and you're like, man, he must have got to camp really early. No, it's the next morning. I usually film these intros at the end of the night when I'm going to set up camp or have already set up camp. I've torn down camp. So yesterday I went through San Francisco and over the Golden Gate Bridge. You know, again, I say again because I've already done it once before whenever I had some training that I needed to do here in California. I actually did it with Drew. So today was a pretty long day. Um, well, today. Oh, goodness. So, yesterday was a pretty long day. I went through San Francisco, took a shower at Planet Fitness, and then went through San Jose. And honestly, traffic really wasn't that bad. And I think that's mostly because I can lane split now. And lane splitting is a godsend. I love it. There's absolutely no reason why bikers shouldn't be able to lane split. It frees up traffic for regular car drivers and it just makes it so that we don't overheat and pass out in traffic, breathing in all the exhaust fumes. Win-win, I say. So I've said that I'm going to take the 101 all the way south, but it seems to me, because I have, like I said, I don't really plan this stuff out too well. But to me, I think the Highway 1 actually goes down the coast. So I'm mostly taking Highway 1, except for yesterday, where I had to take the 101 because part of Highway 1 is actually shut down. I'm sure it's because there's a slide of some sort, because most of Highway 1 is cliffs on your right and cliffs on your left. So all that it takes is one good windstorm or partial landslide and the road's completely blocked. It's usually a two-lane road, or one way each way, 2 lanes total, whatever. Usually it's that kind of lane and very, very twisty and very scenic. But if something like that happens, then that road's completely shut down. There's been a lot of construction on it as well, which is actually honestly a kind of a nice break, because as you're going through twisties constantly, it gets a little tiring. So having to wait for construction for 10 minutes and just kind of sit there and like, ah, it's a little nice. A little bit makes me impatient, but a little bit nice. The biggest difference between 101 and Highway 1, besides the scenery, is honestly the temperature. There are no cool breezes on 101. It's like there's a blow dryer constantly going at you. You're never getting cooled down. You're just kind of roasting there as you're cruising at 70 miles an hour. And you'd think like you'd be fairly cool. No, you're just sweating. You're just sweating. Nothing you can do. Anybody ever tell you that California is a little bit hot? Ah. But on Highway 1, what's nice is that you get that cool breeze off of the Pacific. So you get a nice cool breeze, but with the hot climate. So it's a perfect balance and you're just comfortable. It's really, really nice. So that's another big reason why I want to stick with Highway 1. So I'm just more comfortable temperature wise. I'm about 200 miles north of LA. I'm on a side road. It's like Old Country Road or something like that. It's a side road off of Highway 1. And I'm honestly in one of a pull-off because the roads are really twisty here, so they have a lot of pull-offs for like motorhomes and stuff to pull off so you can pass them. I'm in one of those camping. Here's a whole story behind that. So to find my camping spots, I use this app called iOverlander. And usually it's pretty good as long as you do some thorough research. Like people post spots from like 2-3 years ago that haven't been like revisited and they're closed. And that's honestly kind of what happened to me just yesterday. And that's why I got to camp so late and while I'm doing this in the morning. So as I stated, Highway 1 was closed down. And so I had to go around and the camping spot was 25 miles backwards on the closed highway, which I was able to get to, and then the highway was closed like 10 miles further down the road. But when I got to my spot, there was a sign that said no camping. It might have been because of whatever happened on Highway 1 because it looked like one of those construction signs with the LEDs and stuff that shine the lights and say words. It was one of those, and it said no camping, day use only, so it might have been a good spot under different circumstances, but I don't know. So I had to find another spot, and I originally had another spot down this exact road, just closer to Highway 1, but two things wrong with that spot. On the other side of the road, and I could see the back of the sign, so I was on the wrong side of the sign. It said no camping for the next 3 miles. People said that they've camped at that pullout and didn't have any problems. I'm not gonna risk it. This is my only mode of transportation and I'm not gonna risk getting it towed or anything like that. I'm too far from home for all that. And then a skunk got absolutely massacred at that spot. There was a fluff of hair of skunk and it stank bad, so I wasn't gonna stay there. Luckily, there wasn't this spot that was a little bit further down the road, and I got here at like 9 p.m. So the sun was already setting. I barely got my tent set up and stuff inside of it and set up before the sun went down. I was blowing up my pillow when I couldn't see. So that's a big reason why I didn't really film last night. But I woke up this morning and I think I got infested with sand fleas. I honestly don't know what sand fleas look like, and I also don't really know anything about sand fleas. All that I know is that my tent was covered in them. I don't really know too much about sand fleas, or I've never even seen them in real life. but there were these tiny, like gnat-sized, but maybe even smaller. They would crawl everywhere. They were tan, and they were everywhere. So luckily, I used some wet wipes, and I was able to clean most of them up. I think I got most of them, but it's it's yeah, that was an interesting thing to wake up to, because I didn't see them at night, obviously. So most of my morning was spent cleaning up maybe sand fleas. I don't know what else they are. I don't think I itch too much. I don't know if sand fleas are the same type of fleas that make like dogs itch and you itch. I don't know. I don't have internet. I don't have service, so I can't look anything up. So if I seem dumb, I am dumb. And that kind of is the way it is. You know, I'm in a foreign land, so to speak. You may have noticed actually, like my last couple videos, I didn't seem as energetic or anything like that. It's honestly because I was, for the past couple days, I was feeling really lonely. And I don't want to make this seem like this is always super happy and super awesome all the time. Because honestly, you have days where you're just not feeling it. There's been multiple days where I've just been like, I just want to go home. And that's just kind of the reality of this kind of lifestyle, this kind of trip. And you just got to kind of power through it, because it is just a dip. You just gotta brace the dip and make your way through it. And try to eat healthy and drink plenty of water, because that also affects your mood. And yeah, I just want to be more real. I don't want to make this seem like it's some fairy tales, some dream trip where nothing ever goes wrong. I mean, I just kind of got infested with, I think, sand fleas. Like, you got to take those things and roll with the punches and just kind of continue. And that's what I did. I was a little down for the last couple days. Not sure why. I think it's because I'm lonely. Because, man, people kind of treat you like a criminal as a guy on the road on a motorcycle. I'm not gonna lie. Very, very few people actually talk to me. The only people that have honestly, like, really stopped and talked to me are senile. And I'm not kidding. I think they're actually senile. Because when I was on the Avenue of the Giants, I stopped at a gift shop, and this guy that was getting into his car, he's like, "Oh, you ride, huh?" and all this other stuff. And he's like, "I used to ride until I saw 3 people die on the side of the road." And I was just like, "What?" Okay. Yeah, I mean, that happens. Motorcycles are dangerous. It's just kind of the way it is. And he would tell another part of the story, and he's like, "And then I saw 3 people die on the side of the road." Like, he said it like 3 or 4 times. I'm not kidding. And I was like, "Okay, guy. Okay. Like, do you?" I understand the risks of being on a bike. It's one of them. It sucks, but it's the reality of the situation. But man, you don't have to just sit there and just stare at me and 3 people died. It's like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. And so I had to do the kind of the Midwest goodbye, as you know, I'm from the Midwest. It's like, okay, thanks. Oh, so, oh, that was funny. It was funny to me, but it was also just like, man, why can't normal people come up and talk to me? Please, somebody. I had another guy when I first started the trip. I think I was in Winnipeg or near Winnipeg. Can't remember. At a Walmart, and this senile guy comes up to me, and he would not stop talking. I can't remember about what, because it was like a month ago. But same situation. Just wouldn't stop talking. Just rambled, rambled, rambled. And I'm just like, man, boo. And I've had multiple people like in campers and stuff, like they were gonna park near me at a campsite and they just drove off. And I saw that it was like a female or something, like a couple. And I'm just like, why does every guy get treated like I'm a criminal? And it kind of sucks. I guess the homeless look doesn't really help my situation, but it's not like I have a way to groom myself. It's all part of the experience anyways. Just let it all grow. Lavish, luscious. I think I've rambled on enough, and there are tons of cars passing by. Man, this is pretty busy for a side street. What? That's it for this one. Have a good one.